we're picking up where we left off in part 1 of this Q&A, which if you have not seen that video, I will make sure to have it linked in the info box for you. And today we'll continue talking about anything and everything Hermes you wanted to hear my thoughts on. So if that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to have a good old luxury chat, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. Recommend first purchase from Hermes. Interesting question. Okay, let me think. First Hermes purchase might be an unpopular one, but, and it's kind of unexpected, but the first thing that I would invest in from Hermes is their tart plates. I love their tart plates. They offer it in almost every single Hermes tableware collection, and I don't actually use it to display tarts. Instead, I use these plates around my home. I have my mosaic one in my bathroom right now to store all my skincare and just to display them in a really nice way. So I would definitely get a tart plate. I also picked up another tart plate very recently, which I'll share with you in my next Hermes haul. I think the next video that you'll see from me is going to be a really small, really conservative Hermes haul with a few little pieces that I picked up for spring summer. But I do think I would probably start with a tart plate. I know it's unexpected and it might not be the most popular Hermes piece, but I do think it will add a ton of bang for your buck to your collection. It's not something that will break the bank, but it is just such a beautiful statement piece to have in your home. If you're looking for a leather piece because you would like to get a feel for Hermes's colors and leathers, I do really enjoy the tarmac passport holders. If you enjoy traveling, if you're not a big traveler and you don't think it's a piece that you would get a lot of use out of, the Calvi you cannot go wrong with, even though they're getting more and more difficult to get. But the Calvis I love. They're really simple origami inspired card holder that come in a ton of different leathers and colors, which I think is a great piece to have in your collection. And I'm trying to think in terms of shoes, definitely get a pair of boots if you don't mind spending a little bit more money on Hermes, because we are definitely slowly going up in price because their boots are more expensive, but they have a ton of incredible boots. Obviously Hermes is known for their sandals, but I feel like their sandals are really not as great as their actual boots, so their boots might be a good investment. I love their cashmere scarves, and also a Be Happy is another piece that I would definitely suggest checking out. What special order would you get? I would love to get a lizard special order, which I'm not sure if it's going to be an option this upcoming special order season, but a lizard bag is definitely on my list. Or I would one day love to get, I always go back and forth between a Birkin or a Kelly, but I would love to get a larger Birkin or a larger Kelly in black matte alligator, maybe with a pop of color as the lining, but I don't see myself getting that anytime soon just because these bags would be like $50,000-$60,000, and considering how much use I would get out of them, it's not that kind of money. I just could not justify spending on something that I would not be able to use that often purely because of my lifestyle. I just don't go to places where I would feel comfortable carrying a $60,000 bag too, especially considering how delicate these bags are. You don't really just want to throw these on and hope for the best. At least I wouldn't. I try to take really good care of my things, and when it comes to exotic skins other than ostrich, they are really quite delicate. But I would definitely love to get a bag in a really special finish, or I would also consider getting a suede Birkin in a larger size, because again, that would add a really unique texture and finish to my collection. What an interesting question. Is it only me feeling so fed up with Hermes? Sad face. Used to be obsessed before, and I have seen this question pop up quite a few times, phrased slightly differently, but they were all talking about falling out of love with Hermes, which I can definitely relate to. I think Hermes has changed quite a bit. I think it's mainly because their clientele has been changing, because Hermes is so popular now, it's so well known. The clientele is a lot different than it used to be, which there's nothing wrong with, but when the clientele changes, your designs will change slightly. I feel like Hermes's designs have been getting a lot more loud, a lot more in your face, a lot more commercialized, and a lot more streetwear inspired. With that, the customer service has been changing quite a lot. I feel like most Hermes boutiques are a lot more they cater more to almost the mass market. It's more about selling quantity rather than quality. So they don't spend as much time on, paying attention to their really loyal clients, at least not as much as they used to. And it's all about, selling all these little things that are seasonal, that are hot, and not really paying attention to some of their heritage, classic, iconic pieces. So no, I definitely feel you. I still love Hermes for its quality, as I mentioned before, but I can definitely see where you are coming from. I have to say, I love this question. What can you do to get over the feelings of never being offered a Birkin? Trust me with this one. I am someone who's been buying Hermes for a really long time. I have bought quite a few bags over the years from Hermes. And let me tell you this one thing. If you don't take away anything from this video except this, I think this is the most important point. Getting a Birkin, getting a Kelly, as beautiful as they are, as special as these bags used to be, they will not change your life. If this is what your happiness depends on, getting a Birkin, getting a Kelly will not make you happy, no matter how much you think it will. You'll get a Birkin, you'll get a Kelly, you'll take it home, you'll appreciate it, you'll use it, you'll enjoy it, but it will not change your life. The only thing that it will do is that it will make you want more and more and more, because you will continue chasing that feeling, that desire that you got when you were offered your first Birkin. So please do not think that there is anything life-changing about these bags. If you really want to get one because you love the design, because you appreciate the aesthetic, you appreciate the quality, go to the Preloved market and get yourself the bag that you want, as long as it's not a financial burden. Because if you're like, it's just way too much money, I do not want to spend this much money on a bag, do not do it, because it is not worth the headache. But getting a Birkin offered, getting one directly from a store, will not change your life in any shape or form. And this is coming from someone who used to love Hermes, who pretty much made a career out of talking about Hermes. But I do not want you for a single second to think that getting a Birkin or getting a Kelly is life-changing, because it is not. It will not make you happy. It will not make your life any better. Yes, they're beautiful bags. Yes, they're exquisitely crafted. Yes, they will last a really, really long time, but they will not do anything for you. If you're really craving to get your hands on one, go to the Preloved market if you're struggling to get one directly from the store, because it is not worth the heartache. Favorite, quote-unquote, budget piece, which I love, because when it comes to budget and Hermes, those terms really don't go well together. But favorite budget piece from Hermes, a must buy. I would say that the tart plates, as I mentioned before, those are an incredible show-stopping statement piece to have in your collection. I do love the Hermes lip balms if you're looking for a little treat. The tarmac passport holder, again, is quite reasonably priced compared to other pieces. And so is the Be Happy. I wouldn't really go for Hermes belts. Their cashmere scarves I really like too. They are not overly expensive. And I'm trying to think what else. Maybe the bolete pouches I also really enjoy. But if you look at, I did a video on my most used Hermes pieces. I don't think any one of those were, they were all expensive, but I don't think any one of those were outrageously expensive compared to other Hermes pieces. So that might be a good place to start. But their tart plates, definitely check out. And I would say Tarmac or Be Happy would be another alternative for you to look into. What does your skincare routine look like, and what may be your signature fragrance? So I did talk about my skincare routine in a previous Q&A, which I can make sure to link up here for you. And I will also link some of my favorite skincare products in the info box if you would like to check them out, but really nothing has changed. My favorite brand, my go-to for skincare, is Paula's Choice. I try a lot of different brands, a lot of different products, but the brand that I always go back to and my skin adores is Paula's Choice. And then my signature fragrance, my go-to, the one that I have been wearing for years and years and years, is Comme des Garçons Black. I also really like Margiela by the Fireplace in the winter, although it has become quite popular and I don't really feel that it is as much my signature scent as it used to be, just because so many other people wear it. So Comme des Garçons Black is something that I'm still really loyal to. And then I have also been wearing something Noir. Is it called Material Noir from Louis Vuitton? Those are some of my current favorite scents. And Frederic Moon is another scent that is definitely not for the faint of heart. In-depth review on all the roll bags, including interior and weight of the bag, which is something that I would love to do for you, but I don't feel qualified to do that because I only have 2 bags from the row so far. But you could definitely, I would suggest checking out Neelam Ahuja on Instagram. She is kind of my go-to for anything and everything the row. She not only has beautiful style, but she also knows the row inside out. So her page I would definitely suggest looking at. And then I am going to be doing a review on the banana bag, which I got last November. I have been using it for the past couple of months, so I do have a review coming up on that bag. And then as soon as I pick up another bag from the row, you guys will be the first to know. But I could definitely share my thoughts in an upcoming video on what bags from the row I like the look of and which ones I personally don't appreciate. But doing a more in-depth review on them, I don't think I could do because I just don't have enough first-hand experience with most of their bags. Most and least favorite Hermes boutiques worldwide. That is such a tough question. Maybe that needs to be addressed in a specific video. I could look at a map and tell you guys about all the Hermes boutiques that I've been to, which, by the way, in the States, I've been to most of them. Around the world, I mean, I've been to quite a few, but not every single one of them. But I would say that my most favorite boutique, and here I'm not talking about customer service, I'm not talking about the team, I'm purely talking about the selection. I was really blown away by the selection in Milan. I was there this past August and they had the most incredible selection of pieces, which I was really, really impressed by, which, I mean, it shouldn't be surprising because obviously Milan is one of the capitals of fashion, but the Milan boutique really blew me away purely with how much stuff they had in stock. But I mean, there are so many boutiques that I love because of the team or because of the architecture. For example, the boutique in Miami, I think, is one of my favorite boutiques because of how unique the architecture is. But yeah, we could definitely do a dedicated video on it. If there are any specific boutiques that you'd like to hear my thoughts on or just hear if I've been to, let me know in the comment section. But the Milan boutique is the first one that comes to mind that really blew me away purely with how much stuff, how much beautiful stuff they had in stock. I have no idea how long this video is going to be because I haven't even looked at your questions from YouTube. So let's walk through some of these really quick. The first one, hello, I wanted to ask your experience with Hermes silver and tarnishing. I am definitely not an advocate of buying designer silver. I think it is way too overpriced for the quality and for how long these pieces will last in your collection because, as you mentioned, silver does tarnish, it's prone to oxidizing, it chips and scratches really easily, which is not the end of the world. Silver is still, is it a precious metal or like a semi-precious metal? So it's something that can be polished and replated, but it's personally not something that I would spend my money on. What I would suggest doing is saving your money a little bit longer and then investing in a solid gold piece, unless you're buying something that is a really chunky, heavy statement piece, in which case silver is a more accessible alternative to gold. Because if you're buying something that is a huge statement piece, that is something that would cost you probably $5,000 in silver or $100,000 in gold. So I do understand why you would opt for silver in those cases. But if you're buying a more delicate ring, a necklace, or even a bracelet, I would personally suggest going for gold over silver. What are your thoughts on the recent price increases? I do think that it is crazy. I mean, you know, when it comes to Hermes, it's kind of predictable. They will have a price increase each and every single year at the beginning of the year. And I do think that this year's price increase wasn't too crazy, other than their fine jewelry price increase, which I think was almost 10% on most pieces, which to me was just mind-blowing. I always loved recommending Hermes fine jewelry pieces, and I still do, but I think that they are climbing up in price rapidly. So if there is anything that's on your radar, I would suggest buying it sooner rather than later. I think their bags went up a tiny bit, but it wasn't anything crazy. To me, the most insane price increase is the increases that Chanel has been implementing, because I don't think that at this point most Chanel pieces are justified considering the quality and considering the designs, especially when it comes to their ready to wear. I mean, a cardigan at this point is, I looked at a cardigan in December that was like 6,000 euros, something along those lines. I mean, to me, that is just mind blowing, and I personally could not justify spending that much money on Chanel. But when it comes to Hermes, at the end of the day, it is a really expensive brand, but I do think that they are still pretty reasonable. And speaking of prices, are 7RP inserts worth the price? I personally think so, at least when it comes to returned bags. If you have a bag that you really want to support from the inside out, you want to make sure that they don't lose their shape, which is one of the only things that the Hermes Spa cannot repair. I would highly suggest investing in a 7RP insert because the quality is exquisite and they were specifically custom designed to fit your Hermes bag, so they will give your bags just the right amount of support from the inside out. And I do think my 7RP discount code is still valid. I didn't get an email saying that it was deactivated, so I put it up here on the screen. If it works, great. If it doesn't, send me a DM or send me an email, because they are giving me one that I can't directly give out to you guys. So I will have, I think I'll call it a secret discount code that is specifically for my community. So that is a discount code that I will have forever, or at least for the foreseeable future, that I can always share with you. The only thing is that I cannot put it on YouTube. You have to ask for it specifically, or maybe I can put it on YouTube. I think I might be able to put it in a video. I just cannot really advertise it. So maybe I put it up on the screen here. If I'm allowed to, I'll read through the email again, but I should still have some sort of a discount code with 7RP. So try maybe G.P.S 40. I think that should still work. And if it doesn't, shoot me an email and I will get you a discount code, because they are definitely pricey. And if I can help you save a little bit of money, I would love to do that. I might be able to be invited to get a special order. My advisor recommended me to order a mini Kelly since it's difficult to get. I would like to have a mini Kelly with exotic leather. What do you think? My friend said mini Kelly is for young girls. I'm not young, but trendy, stylish, and with class. Comments from people. I will wear it for dinner or events. What is your opinion? I think mini Kellys are, really nice bags. You do have to ask your boutique if it's going to be your first special order bag, if they are able to offer you a special order in exotic leather, because they have very, very limited numbers of exotic bags that they can offer as a special order. To give you an example, I'm just going to put a number out there, but just so you can get kind of the idea. So let's say a boutique has 10 special order bags to offer to some of their most loyal clients. Only one of those can be an exotic bag. That's the kind of ratio that most boutiques work with. So you want to double check to make sure that you'll be able to get or ask for a special order bag in exotic leather. You want to make sure that it wasn't, well, first of all, that it's an option, because some boutiques cannot even order special order bags, and you want to make sure that it wasn't promised to someone else. So that's definitely something that I would suggest doing, because if it's not an option, you kind of want to start brainstorming what other pieces you could order. I think the mini Kelly is a really special bag. I personally think that it is quite overdone. If you're going to get it in exotic leather, it will have a little bit more spice and a little bit more twist to it, but I don't think it is really age dependent. It all depends on your style. If you enjoy a really small, really tiny bag, the mini Kelly is something that you like. But if you're looking for something that is a little bit more adaptable, something that isn't so tiny, I would consider the Kelly pochette too. I really think that the Kelly pochette is a lot more unique and a lot more elegant than the mini Kelly. How would you define luxury? What is luxury for you? Luxury for me is freedom, being able to say yes or no to anything that comes your way without thinking about it twice. Freedom and the freedom to say yes or no to things is, to me, the biggest luxury in life, which is probably not the answer you were looking for, but that is genuinely how I think of it. And then let's do this question last, which is, I recently got my wish granted. Black gold hardware Birkin 30. Congratulations. And I know my advisor really helped me with granting me my wish. I would like to give a small gift to show my appreciation, but I know that they have rules against receiving gifts. They do, and I don't want to go into why that is, but they do. What do you recommend? Did you give a gift, a token of appreciation to your advisor after you were offered your exceptional Birkin? Thank you in advance. So when I first started shopping at Hermes, I would buy, to be honest, not just my Hermes advisors, but all my luxury advisors that I shopped with throughout the year. Christmas gifts, I would always get them a candle or a hand cream or something just thoughtful around the holiday season, but you can no longer do that. The new rule is that if you're going to get something for your advisor, it has to be something that the entire team can share. So while I don't think that it's necessary, I think it's very nice and thoughtful of you that you want to thank them for, especially if you feel like that they went out of their way to help you get your dream bag. Then I think you should get them something like a cake or a cupcake or maybe some croissants, some little baked goods, something that they can share with the entire team. You could get them maybe a nice basket of different cookies and teas, something that you know that the entire team can enjoy, but you cannot get something specifically for your advisor. But yeah, I didn't get my advisor anything when I got my exceptional Birkin just because I know what the rules are, but I have definitely bought them little cakes and little teas and little biscuits, just, you know, little thoughtful things that the entire team can share. But congratulations on your new bag. I'm really happy that your wish was granted. And this actually brings us to the end of today's video, just because I have been sitting here rambling for hours and I don't want this video to be too boring and too long. But I want to thank you guys for all your questions. We still have a lot to get through, but I will make sure to save these and try to address them in future Q&As. And I really hope you enjoyed it and you got something out of this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I really appreciate you being here and watching, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really, really soon.